Today, we are going to dive deep into the fascinating world of the psychology of deep thinkers. So pay close attention, because this journey into the mind will challenge the way you see yourself and others. Definition and overview. Deep thinkers are individuals who engage in profound, introspective, and analytical thought processes that go beyond surface-level understanding, often confronting unconscious elements, assumptions, and complexities. They prioritize logic, creativity, and emotional depth, seeking truth through structured analysis or empathetic exploration, rather than accepting information at face value. Psychologically, deep thinking is linked to creativity, open-mindedness, and a willingness to tolerate ambiguity, distinguishing it from neurotic rumination or circular overthinking. It involves descending into the psyche to integrate conscious and unconscious aspects, leading to wholeness rather than quick answers. Key characteristics: creative and innovative. Deep thinkers form novel connections from existing information, excelling in intellectual and artistic pursuits, where abstract, non-sequential thinking leads to new ideas. Questioning and skeptical. They do not accept things at face value, probing deeper for evidence and underlying truths instead of relying on initial impressions. Empathetic and open-minded. Able to see multiple perspectives, they consider opposing viewpoints with humility, fostering fairness without being indecisive. Inquisitive. They ask numerous questions to gather more information, connecting it to broader knowledge, often overwhelming others with their persistent curiosity. Well-read and knowledge-seeking. Exposure to diverse sources like books, opinions, and fiction enriches their thinking, leading to further exploration and reflection. Solitary. They often prefer solitude for focused processing and recovery, especially if introverted or highly sensitive, allowing thoughts to consolidate. Psychological traits. Deep thinkers can be categorized as deep thinkers who process via logic, focusing on structure, facts, and rational systems, or deep feelers who prioritize emotions attuned to empathy and undercurrents. They exhibit high self-awareness, reflecting on behaviors, emotions, and motivations to live authentically, even through discomfort. Curiosity drives them, encompassing joyous exploration, sensitivity to knowledge gaps, and tolerance for confusion and uncertainty. They practice intellectual humility, recognizing unknowns and gathering more information before deciding, a marker of high intelligence. Flexible thinking allows them to consider multiple angles, using intuition and mindfulness to gain empathy and align with values. Over-attachment in relationships can make their mood dependent on others' responses, heightening sensitivity to behavioral changes. Strengths and benefits. Clarity and insight. Attuned to patterns, pain, and possibilities, they achieve integration and meaning, dignifying personal darkness and offering depth to others. Problem solving. Critical thinking based on root cause. Analysis and extrapolation leads to better decisions, distinguishing it from anxiety-inducing rumination. Adaptability. Deeper recursion in analysis enhances adaptability up to a point, allowing reinterpretation of the world through new parameters. Authentic connections. Seeking others' opinions fosters self-awareness and growth through genuine interactions. Long-term focus. Considering impacts and reflecting deeply leads to thoughtful, community-oriented choices. Creativity in solitude. Quiet time provides clarity, protecting energy and enabling profound processing over shallow stimulation. Challenges and downsides. Isolation and loneliness. Seeing unconscious patterns in others leads to feeling disconnected, making small talk unbearable and crowds empty. Overanalysis. Intellect can become armor, avoiding personal wounds and leading to disconnection from feelings. Self-dissolution. Excessive recursion scatters the self, reducing interest in mundane pursuits and ethical boundaries. Anxiety and depression. Imbalanced high-level, esoteric, or low-level, task-oriented thinking correlates with higher mental health issues. Emotional overload. Deep feelers may struggle with sensory sensitivity, needing recovery time, while overthinkers face mood dependency. Dogmatic traps. Intelligence can amplify biases, emotional needs, and thought loops, hindering openness. Communication styles, content versus process focus. Deep thinkers emphasize details and narration for logical integration, while deep feelers prioritize emotional impacts and meaning-making. Intent versus impact. Thinkers focus on motivations behind actions, but feelers highlight emotional effects, prioritizing impact aids repair. Barriers to connection. Mismatches cause disconnection. Resolution involves validating emotions first, then balancing logic and feelings. Flexible processing. Individuals may switch styles by situation, promoting compassion through awareness of activation. Active listening. True listening without judgment expands comprehension and emotional depth, shifting from ego-driven reactions. Common phrases and their meanings. "Let's think this through" indicates analytical weighing of options to avoid impulsivity. "This is more complicated than it seems," embraces complexity and admits unknowns without insecurity. "What's the long-term impact?" Focuses on future repercussions and community care. "I've been reflecting on this for a while." Shows self-awareness and inward questioning for authentic living. There's more to discover here. Reflects curiosity and tolerance for uncertainty. "Let's take a step back." Promotes patience and risk aversion in processing. "I need more information before I decide." Demonstrates intellectual humility. There's always another perspective. Maintains open-mindedness and empathy. "I have to look at the issue from all angles." Ensures informed decisions through multiple approaches. "I need to process this." Allows mindful emotional handling with compassion. "What do you think?" Seeks input for social self-knowledge and growth. Insights from social media. Discussions. Deep thinking energizes certain personalities, like brainstorming for its own sake, differing from those who only think deeply under distress. Levels of thinking. Low-level react impulsively, mid-level check truth, high-level question motivations and choose wisely when to speak. Introverts excel as deep thinkers, offering solutions through careful analysis when given space. Deep reading fosters slower, less reactive thinking, comfortable with uncertainty. Cognition can be an escape from somatic experiences, where deep abstraction dissociates from feelings. Deepening thought adds new parameters for reinterpretation, making the world more multidimensional.